Hi everybody, welcome back. So today is, again, it's a non-ride day. It's a cook video. I'm doing a few of these videos, put them together, just give some people just some different ideas. Freeze-dried meals taste good, but sometimes you want something a little different. And I think the concept, like I've said in the other videos, is like you're coming off a mountain, or you're coming to a small town and none of the local town food sounds good. So they've got a local grocery store and you can go grab a few of these things and put together a simple meal. And so we'll get through it. I'll throw you some options. Looks like it's a lot, it's not. So today we're gonna do chicken enchiladas with a cilantro lime rice. And we're gonna use, in here I've got 5-minute jasmine rice, so real quick to cook. We've got some cilantro. We're gonna use a lime. That'll take care of that. Might add a little butter to this to make it so it doesn't stick. So options wise, you'd want to use fresh chicken, but we don't really have that option sometimes. So I've got shredded chicken. This is freeze dried. This works really well to pack in. Then your next option is going to be canned chicken. So I think today we'll do canned chicken. You're going to need some spices. I generally make my own, but you can use taco seasoning. It's pretty much the same stuff I normally do. So example, it's got chili pepper, paprika, oregano, some salt and pepper and garlic salt in there. So we're going to use maybe 1/4 to 1/8. We'll see how this goes. We're going to use this to spice up the chicken. Canned chicken is a unique taste, so we're going to work through that. We're going to use 1/4 of an onion. I've got a sweet onion. You're going to need some cheese. I got some Monterey Jack and some cheddar. Maybe we'll mix that together. We're going to use this is green chilies. You find these little cans, pack them in. Maybe 1/4 of this can, maybe half if you want a little hotter. And we're going to use, this is green chili enchilada sauce. It's a 15-ounce can. We're going to use about half of this. And so, like I said, you can pack everything back out if you need to into these stainless steel containers. Or you could bring in half the sauce if you're doing it overnighter. And then we're going to use corn, just standard corn tortillas. And if you don't want to pack in, there's always that option. Here's some cheddar, Monterey Jack, and this is freeze dried. So you could use this too. So just some options depending on how many days you're out or what you want to pack in. So if it's too hot, you're worried about cheese, you can do freeze dried cheese. If you're worried about chicken, canned chicken's already pre-cooked. And you can do pasteurized ready. This is shredded chicken that you could do. And there's a few companies out there making it. I'll put a link to this, to the company, the family that makes this. They're out of Tennessee. I use their stuff quite a bit. So, yep, so let's set this up and start prepping. And first thing we'll do is we got to get that rice going, and we'll work on the rice first. All right, got my rice in the water. 5-minute rice. We're going to fire this up. And see you in 5 minutes. So it looks like that rice is ready to go. So we're going to add in some cilantro, little lime. And for rice, I just use like maybe a quarter cup. Just depends on how much you want to eat. So just cut the cilantro down to however you like it. Okay, looks good. Rice looks good. Throw that cilantro in there. Might have to put a little butter just to keep this from sticking together because I'm using rice. We're gonna cut this lime in half. Almost dropped that lime. Some days cooking's a challenge. Gonna use half a lime. All right, it's all done. Looks good. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do tortillas. You don't need a whole bag unless you really like eating corn tortillas. So we're gonna use 2 today, and we're gonna heat those first up in the frying pan. If you're doing corn tortillas, I'd probably pack in at least maybe double just in case they break easy, and they'll fit in a frying pan. So if you wanna layer everything up, that's the easiest way to bring in corn tortillas. They don't do well if you fold them or put them in Ziploc bags, so just a quick tip. All right, let's get this going. Looks good. That one's done. So the next one in. Might want to pack in a little aluminum foil if you need to. Just put those tortillas in while we're working on this. Just looking for the bubbles. If you've never done tortillas, that one's good. And that one's done. All right, we're going to use onion. That. Let's cut these down to however big you want your onions. Probably looking for like that size. No rules in cooking. Everybody cooks slightly different, so. Yeah, I could use a better knife, I know. But it's what I pack in, bike packing, so trying to use the same stuff, get used to it. We're gonna take all those, throw it in the pan. chicken, remember, it's already cooked, so we're just gonna pull the chicken out. Throw that chicken in there. Fire this up. We're going to add in some of the old taco sauce, powder mix, seasoning. Just add some of that in there. Fight in the wind as usual. Turn that heat down a little bit. And if you feel like it's drying out, I always just throw a little water in from the can. Ooh, it's getting windy. Looks like I got enough for at least 3. If you want to do 3, we're going to do 2 today. Save the rest for later. We need to add a little sauce, chilies, little green sauce. It's one of those days. Super windy today. All right, we're using Monterey Jack. We're going to add some cheese. All right, so now we're gonna roll these. We're gonna put them back in the pan. Enchilada sauce to the pan. Let me get this right, okay. We're gonna put this back on the stove, on the burner. Add a little more sauce. We're going to add some cheese wherever I put it. And cheese is nice. Cheese is your friend. Okay. We're just trying to get that cheese to melt, so we're going to cover that. Should take just a minute or two, less, like maybe a minute. So I covered it, trying to get the heat up, trying to melt that cheese. And yeah, we look good. Normally, you know, you'd like to put this in an oven and kind of bake it a little bit, but don't have that option. So, all right, so that's done. We're gonna add the rice back in here. It's easier, less things to clean. Got some extra rice, looks good. Add a little salt and pepper. Throw that lime in there. And we're done. All right, so recap on this real quick. We're doing chicken enchiladas with a lime cilantro rice. It's a jasmine rice. Using corn tortillas. I use canned chicken. I use a taco sauce. I use an enchilada sauce. Probably about 4 ounces. And I used green chilies. And I used about maybe 1 ounce and 1/4 of a sweet onion today. So overall, with the chicken enchiladas with the cilantro lime rice, it's not bad. You're just dealing with, you know, some extra sauces. So maybe try this. Like I said, any of these meals you probably want to try at your house once or twice, kind of get it down. And when you're bike packing in, try to get a little, you know, it's easier to get more organized when you do this and trying to do this out in the environment versus doing it at home. So figure out some containers or whatever you guys think will work. Like I said, everybody's different. Everybody's going to have to work at things. Everybody cooks at a little different speed and all that. So yeah, have fun with this one. It's really good, and it's a little messy on the meals I've done so far. So.